Hello wanderers and welcome back to Skyrim. We are back on the road this week with our plucky bard as we explore the inns and taverns across the land. By using the Become a Bard mod alongside of some of my other favorite mods such as Swift Steed Stables and Inns and Taverns, we're gonna see just how much we can customize the life of an adventuring bard here in Skyrim. During our first episode, we disembarked on the docks of Solitude with nothing but the clothes on our backs.
My father was all the family I ever had. I felt so lost when he died. But the crew of the Red Wave's my family now.
That's a neat little bookstore that we'll visit later.
I once captained a ship called the Argent Raptor. She struck an iceberg and went down just north of Windhelm.
I've seen some truly wondrous sights since I took to the seas. I had no idea a man could die in so many years.
I've only been a part of the Red Wave's crew for a few weeks, but I've already learned to stay out of Captain Safia's way.
Just yesterday, I saw a musician in the street playing a flute. It was beautiful. I want that flute.
I'll make sure to keep an eye on my loot when you're nearby.
My shipmates scoff at my love of finery, but I know envy when I hear it.
Our goal is going to be to travel along the northern shoreline and hit not only the taverns and vanilla towns, but also the ones that the mod adds sprinkled all throughout the land. Because what's great about the Become a Bard mod is that you can use it in conjunction with that mod as well, the Inns and Taverns mod. It would be a pretty lonely journey without some company, and any great bard is eventually going to need a good supporting band. But I think our first order of business is going to be to find a four-legged friend to keep us company.
Here for work? Living outside the walls is a risk, aye. But at least the guards don't come nosing around.
What are you doing here that you don't want the guards to come nosing around? Gathering alchemical ingredients for our travels is always a good idea. One of my favorite things about Skyrim, even after playing it for pretty much a decade, is that when you're wandering around the lush or snowy areas, you always find something that you hadn't seen before, something different and unique like this weird amphitheater in the middle of the woods. Perfect for performing if there was only an audience.
Use a pair of hands and a strong back. Maybe a little coin in it for you.
I can certainly help.
It'd be great. There's a case of our soon-to-be famous mead that needs to get to Winterhold. Get it there and you can keep the delivery fee. Until next time.
Yes?
Frost River Farms is an area added by the mod Cutting Room Floor. Another wonderful piece of work that adds so much content to the game that we wouldn't have had otherwise.
Huh?
Personally, I really like adding a bit of a farming simulation aspect to my Skyrim playthroughs. And it's a great way to make money too. It's funny because as much as I enjoy playing new and different games, every time I'm playing another game, I always have the same thought, which is, I think I'd rather just be playing Skyrim. Fallout is an exception to that, of course. I kind of ping-pong between the two of them, and I guess if I had to choose, I would still choose Skyrim. So yeah, as you can see, this town is very, very big, and it adds just a ton of personality and content to this area of the map, which is usually pretty bland, but very beautiful in its environment, so I'm very grateful for it.
Yes?
We'll definitely come back to this town and explore more, meet the people, but I think for now, it would be wise for us to continue on our journey and see what's waiting for us ahead. As nice as it's gonna be to live the camping life, and we'll definitely use the campfire mod in order to explore that a little bit more, I think that one of our goals is going to be to find a little house, little starter pied-à-terre, for us to be able to drop our stuff off and sleep and have a place to call home. And of course, we'll be upgrading our digs as we make more money and become more famous. Hey buddy, what are you doing out here all by yourself? You may recognize this as Miko's cabin from the vanilla game, but this mod author has done a wonderful job of creating this German Shepherd model, which really reminds me of dog meat from Fallout. Aww. Well, as sad as it is, I don't think he'll be needing his stuff now, will he? Well, after all my years living in these woods, it looks like the rock joint will finally be the end of me. I guess that's fine. All my friends are long dead. The only one left is poor Valor. He was always a loyal companion, and I know he'll be able to take care of himself. I hope someday I'll see him again. Don't you worry, sir. We'll take good care of your puppy. What's wrong, boy? Do you want to come with me? Come on, you can follow me if you want. Alright, let's loot this guy's pantry and let's continue on our journey. But before we go, let's get out of these rags. we'll continue in the direction of Morthal, but we'll also see what we can find along the way. However, we do know that the swamp behind the castle is a great place to grab expensive and rare alchemical ingredients. And also, I know of a little secret hidden somewhere around there that we definitely need to check out before we continue on our journey. Let's just say it's another companion that we can't miss. Another unbelievable environmental mod that I have in this playthrough is Birds of Skyrim, which not only adds a lot of fowl to the farms and different types of flying birds and ground birds, but also things like those nests and all kinds of ingredients when you kill the birds or when you find their caches. So definitely recommend that mod as well. It's immersive, realistic, and really quite impressive, all the work that went into it. And again, if you're curious to see what mods I'm actually using in this playthrough and how they all go together, just head over to my load order video for Skyrim and you'll be able to see how I fit them all in, how I organize them. And there's plenty of them in this playthrough, 150, 125 I think, so definitely worth checking out. Because I already know that Ignan Blackbriar is going to be asking me for like 1 million death bells, I'm going to get a head start on it now. This is the kind of thing that I love running into, and also I think that this area is just really cool. You'll never spend enough time here. Looks like we're eating crab for dinner tonight, Valor. So like the sound you hear there, that tapping, that's literally a woodpecker up on a tree. And they actually like put the little woodpecker pecking on the tree, which I think is just unbelievable. That's such a level of detail that I am here for. The immersive loot mod is another mod that I just can't live without anymore because I'm one of the people who just loves having variety of items and weapons and armors all across. So I just like to, have so many items that I just never get sick of finding them or discovering new ones. Once a game has shown me everything that it has, I kind of tend to get bored with it. The way that the ruins are just so naturally blended and completely unintentional in their placement, unlike in other games, just always blows my mind. Now, it took me a minute to locate him because he is well hidden, but we finally found Stormcloud from the Swift Steed Stables mod. This horse has a really compelling story, which is a perfect example of all the hard work that went into making this mod. As we look through the abandoned belongings of the horse's owner, we find a knapsack with a journal in it. Anna's journal. Dead. They're all dead. The house is a pile of blackened sticks. The garden is nothing more than scorched earth, and the barn is a pile of ashes. Mama, Papa, the cow, chickens, the old plow horse, they're all ashes. Everything is ashes. I don't know what to do or where to go. We don't have family in Skyrim or anywhere else that I know of. If it hadn't been for Stormcloud, I'd have been burned with them. He stopped not far from the farm and refused to move. I tried to walk the rest of the way, but he kept getting in my way. Now I know why. Stormcloud saved me from a bear today. I was gathering mushrooms for a potion and didn't notice the bear lying nearby. I don't know what I'd do without him. I tried to find a job, but everyone says I'm too young. A few even hinted at an orphanage in Riften. I lied and said that my parents were sick. I'm 14. I'm old enough to be on my own. I have to be. Maybe I can find an old shack or an abandoned camp somewhere. I can gather ingredients and make enough potions to buy food. I have my special ring to help with that, and Stormcloud will keep me safe. When we look through Anna's knapsack, we find a few personal items, some alchemical ingredients, Stormcloud's identity papers, which all of the horses in Swift Steed stables that you find around the world have, and also her ring, which allows you to breathe underwater, which is pretty cool. Sadly, we don't need to go far in order to find out what happened to her, because her fate was sealed by the thief who maybe was the one who was set up here in the first place. We find his knapsack beside his bed, and we find a journal that he has where he details what he did with the girl. Falkreath, Whiterun, Iverstead, Riften, Windhelm, and half a dozen camps in between. I've robbed them all, taken every bottle they have. So many pretty bottles, so little time. Found a camp today full of beautiful little bottles. The alchemist brat put up a fight, but I took care of her. Damn horse nearly killed me for that. Never saw a beast so attached to its owner. But once I managed to pour some skooma down his throat, he settled down quick enough. Buried the brat and got more levelly potion for my troubles. Damn horse threw me into the sea. My potions all over the ground in the water. I must have them back. Wish that brat had a water-breathing necklace hidden somewhere, but all I could find was an old ring. No matter. I'll manage. Then I'll kill that damn horse and find something else to carry my precious bottles. We're too late to help Anna, but we can rescue her horse, and we can put her water-breathing ring to good use. Indeed, the thieves' greed got the best of him, and if you do a little bit of investigating by the shore, follow a couple of beer bottles that have been left behind, you will find a trail of bottles at the bottom of the sea, and if you look close enough, very creepily, I might add, you'll be able to find his body. And he does have some loot on him, and if you have the ring on, you can go and scout the bottom of the floor for the potions that he dropped as well. Now, I did look around to see if I could find where he buried Anna's body, but I was unsuccessful, so maybe we'll come back another day if we have some more leads on it, or if we stumble upon it. But now, I think we are going to head to one of the first Inns and Taverns mods locations in order to have our next performance, so let's get going. One thing that I never do in my prior playthroughs is exploring the food crafting element and the recipes. I think it's super fun and I really love the look of them. I just never really stopped to look at that part of the game, so this time around I'm definitely going to be doing more with that and with the alchemical ingredients too. And now our gang of adventurers has grown by one equine friend. I think that we're going to have to find a human companion next to even it out. The horses in this mod run so smoothly, like butter, and they're so fast as well, so I definitely recommend you take a look at it. Plus, just the sheer amount of gameplay is like literally DLC size level. I mean, it's ridiculous how much time the mod author put into this in the most positive way in the world. So yeah, check it out. This is definitely one of the more beautiful horses in the game. That's why I wanted to check it out first. But there's just so many different interesting ones and like little horse families, and you can ride the foals. I mean, I'll be showing you more of it, but definitely take a look at the video on my channel that focuses on it if you want to learn more. And so now we're coming up on Stony Hills. Let's do a little bit of exploring. Now, these smaller inns don't have a lot going on in them, but they're still just such a great addition to the road and to your travels. And, I don't know, I mean, if you have the My Home is Your Home mod, you can probably just grab some companions and spread them out across the map and just kind of leave them around for you to pick up in different inns. Kind of like that idea. I like how the quiet atmosphere matches the fact that this place is out in the middle of nowhere, as opposed to some of the vanilla taverns that obviously have like a lot more life, but you know, they can get a little bit generic once you've been to them a few times, so this is part of why it's nice to have a little bit of diversity as far as the buildings that you have in your game.
Clothes and raiment for the discerning customer.
It's great that this tavern, for example, has another clothing merchant, because they're sorely missing in the game, even to the point where I have to install a mod called Giselle the Clothier in order to have access to a bunch of clothes at once.
I heard tell of a lad in Windhelm, Aventus Aretino. They say he's been doing the Black Sacrament, trying to contact the Dark Brotherhood. Damn fool.
I'd like to perform here.
Of course. Thank you. Here, this is for you. I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
So like I mentioned in the first episode, what's nice about performing at any of the inns is that you get a free room afterwards. And we're probably not going to go to bed right away because we have a lot of exploring to do, but it's a neat thing.
Let me know if there's anything else you need.
And look, I don't even have to steal the sweet roll. It's included. Now, since we're not far from Mortal, we're going to go ahead and ride in that direction so that we can see if there are some quests that will allow us to make some money, and also talk to some merchants there with some of the stuff that we've picked up. I find that they did a really good job with these little scattered villages, and it really makes me think that as much as sometimes I feel like vanilla Skyrim can be a little bit empty, I really appreciate the fact that they factor in that you're going to want to customize and change and add to your game. And I think that's part of the charm of it, and it's part of the built-in excitement that comes with it.
Looking to protect yourself or deal some damage?
So far, our bard's journey is off to a good start. We have our trusty loot, 2 very loyal companions, Valor and Stormcloud, and we're headed to our second big city after performing in Solitude, Mortal. As we wander through the northern coast, we're going to be taking the lower level quests first, and then we're going to try to find our way south to Whiterun before we cross over to the Rift Inn and Iverstead area to the Rift. So that's going to be more or less our game plan. And of course, we are out to build a family in Skyrim as well. And there is one lucky lady that I always marry in Skyrim. I just can't help it. It's been like that since the game came out. Let's see if you can guess who it is. I think I've given hints before, but we'll definitely go visit her and help her out because it's actually kind of important since she is a character that risks being able to accidentally die because of her location. So I always try to rush to get her because she's non-essential, I believe. But she is wifey, so she's pretty essential to me. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of It's a Bard Knock Life. Today we continued our journey from rags to riches through Skyrim. And we hope to pick up some more friends along the way in our adventure, so that by the time we reach our final destination, we have a whole crew to call our own. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment down below letting me know. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any future content. And until the next one, friends, stay safe and happy wandering.
Move along.
Interfering with official Tholmor business. What's the Jarl going to do about it? How are we supposed to feel safe in our own homes?
Please, enough already. I have told Ygritte of your concerns. She'll look after you all. Please, go about your business.
We've no need for wizards in our midst. Morthal has enough problems as it is. It's no use. Let's get back to it then.
Some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasures.